That's what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this trying to be the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be his just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm calling you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go, my God. Let's go. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, this game is not over. In fact, it is just getting going right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday. And remember the good old days when the Texans had a franchise quarterback that was happy and, you know, all they needed to do was put a couple of offensive linemen around him. All they need to do was just let him be great. Remember those days? Well, it's Throwback Thursday, so we're going to have to throw back to those days because, man, oh, what a difference a season makes. If you have not heard, the Texans have hired or are in the process of finalizing the contract for new head coach David Culley, former assistant head coach with the Baltimore Ravens, 65 years young, oldest first-time head coach in NFL history, one of the oldest head coaches in the league. That's not an issue, First-time head coach, though, been in the league for over 25 years and has been coaching in college since the 70s. In fact, was the first black quarterback for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Congratulations, David Culley. Congratulations on your first head coaching assignment in the NFL. Definitely been in the league, climbed up the ranks, paid some dues, and is now getting his shot. Congratulations to him. And I mean that when I say that. But I got a lot else to say. Keisha Kelly, I see you. Keisha, go ahead and call in, my friend. Let's do this. Let's talk about this. And I want to hear everyone's comments today about the Houston Texans, David Culley, and all of it. Chris Gardner is going to be coming in later on from Houston Roundball Review to talk about the Rockets. They're going to have Victor Oladipo and John Wall in the backcourt together for the first time this season. So we'll get a glimpse of what this team can look like. So let me see. I think this is Keisha right here. If that's her. Keisha Kelly, is that you? Hello?
I'm here.
All right, Keisha, do me a favor. Stay right there. Let me take a quick break. Let me pay 2 bills, and then I'm coming right back to you because I want to get into this today, all right?
Okay.
Keisha Kelly, Black College Experience, joining us next right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. and they are able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
Yes, KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all, let me get back to it. Throwback Thursday. Let me get to my friend, my sister, the queen of Black college experience, none other than Keisha Kelly. Keisha, you and I have been back and forth on this one all throughout social media for the last day and a half. What are your thoughts on the move by the Houston Texans and bringing David Culley in as their new head coach?
You know, I said this earlier. I think maybe hiring Eric or not hiring Eric Bieniemy might have been a blessing in disguise. I'm going to take it back, all the way back to, like you said, when they had a great quarterback and just had to put some people around them. And I'm going to say ever since the DeAndre trade, things have just gone downhill for the Texans. It's like the ship continues to sink. Every other day is something different. And it's like they're trying to constantly put the fire out, but it's one thing after another. It's just one thing after another. Like you said, you know, being the age is not a thing, but being the first-time head coach, how much time are they going to give him to turn that team around is my question, especially when it comes on the helm of him being hired yesterday, and then the next day you say, oh, Deshaun is talking about a trade. So it's too much going on at one time.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Texans. You got to be careful with them. And having been here covering them since, 2005, been a season ticket holder since 2002, you got to watch them because they're going to put out information that tells their side of the story. And I'm calling names today. They'll leak it to John McClain, and when the general says it, then all of a sudden it becomes gospel. But the reality is Deshaun Watson's folks had given an official request for a trade a week ago. So it didn't matter whether they hired Eric Bieniemy at that point. It didn't matter whether they hired David Culley at that point, Leslie Frazier. It didn't matter. Deshaun had enough and was ready to go. And I'm with you. I think it goes back definitely to the DeAndre Hopkins trade, but probably in totality with how they did Jadeveon Clowney, how they didn't even offer Kareem Jackson, how they didn't make any reasonable offer to Tyrann Mathieu. I think all of that encapsulated in Deshaun's decision. I got to get out of here.
And it is, because it's like you're making all of these decisions without, you're not consulting him. And you think about, just a few months back, $177.5 million multi-deal. And you think about that. And I think somebody said there's no clause in his contract. So
he's got a no trade clause where if they wanted to trade him to, let's say, with Jacksonville, he could say, no, I ain't doing that. But he can waive that trade clause if he wants to go to the Jets, which I understand he wants to do, or Miami, which I understand what he wants to do. So it's one of those no trade clauses where he has some say in it.
I mean, it is, and it's one of those you hate to see that kind of talent just get washed, just flush down the toilet because of decisions that they're making in the front office in Houston, and it's not beneficial to him. Now, I'm gonna be this person. I'm gonna call names. If this was a Tom Brady or Drew Brees, this situation wouldn't play out like that. They would have did nothing like that to one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I have screen captured a number of fans who keep saying that these players need to understand that they are not the owners and therefore they don't need to be involved in personnel decisions. But the reality is, let's just put facts out here. Mr. Cal McNair went to Deshaun and said that he was going to include him in the general manager and the head coaching decision. Deshaun didn't demand that. He didn't even request it. It was offered to him, and he said yes. And then Cal McNair went out and hired who he wanted as general manager and didn't give any real consideration to anyone else. And that's when Deshaun said, oh, this is a bunch of boo-hoo, and decided, with everything else that happened, I'm out of here. So it is not this player feeling like he's deserving, although other players like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and others have been given that kind of courtesy. Deshaun was just accepting what was offered to him. So it's not fair to be mad at Deshaun because he believed the owner when the owner said, I'm going to consider your decision with general manager and head coach.
And a lot of times, Andre, and this is a lot of times from the fan standpoint, a lot of fans, they want to insert themselves in these athletes' positions. Well, if it was me. And a lot of times people look at it as, oh, they should be happy. And it's so funny. Anoop told me this years ago from Chicago. He said, I don't understand why people treat it like these athletes have not been putting their bodies to the test since they have been kids. It's not a privilege. It's something that they deserve. And I honestly believe that because these people have been practicing these skills, these sports, since they were knee-high to a tree. So people think that they can just go in and they have no say-so in their contracts, their negotiations. Not true. That's not fair.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And again, I appreciate that. Good Nuke dropping good sound nuggets like that. That's what we do. But let me say this, Keish Kelly, joining us from Black College Experience. At a stage in my career, I was filling out applications. And then as I grew in my career with one particular company, they took me off of applications and they signed me to a contract. And that contract had a whole lot of different things in it than was on the application. And I even had a non-compete clause where I could not work in that industry for 2 years after I left that company because I was under contract. It's a difference between filling out an application and getting a job and being brought on as a valued employee under a contract. And you got a lot of people who punching clocks and then filled out an application trying to tell people who are on a whole different dynamic, I don't want to call it level, dynamic than they are, and they can't understand that. And it's just it's just the fact that there's some people that have different standards in their contract than other people have on their job when they filled out an application.
Correct. And then the first thing they say is, once again, oh, you should be grateful. Oh, you should be grateful. No, it's not the case because people go, like you said, it's different dynamics. You can't tell me as a skilled basketball player, a skilled football player, somebody that's been playing this game for 20 plus years, you can't tell me how I'm supposed to feel when that's what I do for a living.
Right.
I don't come in your job and tell you how to be an engineer or how to be a marketer or how to be a teacher. So how can you tell an athlete something that you're watching for entertainment? How do you tell somebody that's their profession? That's how they make their living. And you're telling them what they should do. That's not how that works.
And they are one of the top 1% to do that. So they are the best of the best. And I'm trying to tell them how they should spend their money. I'm trying to tell them what they should be grateful for. I'm trying to tell them when they should be happy and when they shouldn't. And the reality is a lot of folks doing that are sitting in somebody's bar, drinking somebody's adult beverage, talking about their boss and their employer, just the way they want to, feel like Deshaun is doing his. Deshaun has every right to value his commodity, and that's his skills, his gifts, his talent, his mind. He has a very high quarterback IQ, and he's been running for his life since he's been here in Houston, and now he's decided to run on out of Houston, and I ain't mad at it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, the thing though, Keisha Kelly, again, Black College Experience, joining us here on the lunch break. The thing that I don't want to do, and I had to catch myself yesterday, I had to catch myself and say, I can't be mad at, other Black people that get jobs that I wanted somebody else to get. I can't be mad at David Culley because he got this opportunity. I'm not going to talk him down. I'm not going to be negative about it. I'm happy that a brother got a job when, there were 8 other ones out there and this is the only one. I'm not going to be mad at him. But here's the thing. Right. We also got to be careful of a person getting an opportunity and a person being brought in to clean up a mess. And Keisha, if you got a minute, I got to take a quick break, but I want to come back and talk because we got 3 Black head coaches at all the major sports here in Houston, and I don't think any one of them has been brought in because of their gifts and talents like they would bring in somebody else. I think all 3 of them have been brought in to clean up messes, and we'll talk about that next, right after this, on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000, or text me, 832-403-5005.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org. It's the lunch break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's our Throwback Thursday. Let me go to the phone line. Keisha Kelly still standing by. Keisha, so the Rockets brought in Stephen Silas to clean up the mess after Daryl Morey left, after Mike D'Antoni left. And while they did not expect him to have to deal with the, losing James Harden and Russell Westbrook, that happened. But again, Stephen Silas was brought in to clean up a mess. We know Dusty Baker was brought in to clean up a big mess with the cheating scandal and the firing of the general manager and the manager. And now here comes David Culley, and he has been brought in to clean up. I don't even know what to call it. I almost feel like the Texans are becoming a cult in the front office. It's not based on merit. I literally feel like they brought these men in to get through the storm, and then they got other people that they want to bring in to enjoy the benefits and the results.
I mean, and I didn't think of it, and now that you mentioned that, it does make sense, because if you think about it, what made them so qualified now that didn't make them qualified before? It's not like they did 30 other things within like a 2-3 year time frame that made them so much more valuable. It's not like they went out and coached billions of different teams and they recruited somebody and scouted some people and brought in some different people to these various teams. So I totally agree. And some of the times, if not a lot of the time, we see that, and I can actually say I've seen this in my own career space. I saw this when I first moved to Atlanta. It's somebody that I talk about to this day, somebody that I'm friends with to this day. I do. I remember her when I was working for a rental car place, and she was the one African American. She knew this job backwards and forwards, like the front and back of her head. She knew it. And every time something would blow up, she would be the one person that they would bring in to clean up the mess. And as much as we value her and how highly we looked at that, you can't help but to wonder, are you bringing me in based on what I know, or are you bringing it in to make yourself look good, to say that you're doing diversity and inclusion, which you're really not?
You know, and it's a fair point, and it's a point that people don't, not everybody, I'll say, even give the possibility. I heard some analysts on the NFL Network coming in today talking about Eric Bieniemy, and they keep talking about all the different interviews that Eric Bieniemy has had, and the guy says, all I can do is conclude that it is not his gifts and his talent. It's Eric Bieniemy's ability to sell himself and to wow people and to make them say he's the one for the job. And I'm thinking, like, that's a limited scope. You're saying that based on your experience. But the reality is there are times when folks will say, hey, this guy is great for the job. I really, under normal circumstances, I would get him. But let me go ahead and bring in Tom Herman instead of Charlie Strong, because I think Tom Herman can get us to the next level. Charlie Strong interviewed well. Charlie Strong cleaned up the mess. Charlie Strong got you on the brink of greatness, but now you're going to bring somebody in, regardless of however other people interviewed, you're going to bring somebody else in to reap the benefit of the hard work done by the Charlie Strongs and the Tony Dungy's, like when he was down there in Tampa. People who don't understand that won't understand that.
And they won't. And it's so funny that you say that. And I'll try to keep this story as brief as I can. A couple of weeks ago, almost a month ago, I was preparing for an interview, and I won't call the company. I was preparing for an interview, and it was somebody that I knew, and I was super excited. And it was something that I actually wanted to do. I wanted to be a columnist, and this is the next thing I said I want to do in my next part of my career. All I want to do is write or be on radio. Those two things go hand in hand. So I was like, okay, I'm at this point. I lock in this interview and I get all these things done. And the person that I'm interviewing with is somebody that I went to Southern with, or somebody that went to Southern too. There's somebody that's in my alumni chapter. So I'm thinking I'm going to prepare. I'm going to over prepare. I know that I'm qualified. I'm more than qualified. I have the experience. I have everything that you're asking for, but I'm going to go over and beyond to prepare for this, to make sure I look good, you look good, and everybody else looks good. So I don't make anybody look crazy. Long story short, I go through the interview. Towards the end of the interview, she tells me, oh, I don't think this is the fit for you right now. At that moment, the air went out of me. And I'm thinking, what was so different? What is it that I didn't do? Or why is it that you feel like I wasn't qualified? You said that you saw everything that I've done. You saw my work. You saw what I did in sports. You saw my articles. You saw the multiple articles that I've written all across the world, because I've done different articles, not just sports. But all of a sudden, I was good, but I wasn't good enough for that position. I was good enough to freelance, but I wasn't good enough to have the actual article.
Yeah. And first of all, I'm sorry that happened to you, because that's just that kind of stuff right there. It's one thing to say that you're not going to hire me for the job. It's another thing when you tell me I'm not ready for it.
Right.
That's the part right there where thank you, but I'm sorry. I came to you about the job, not for career advice.
Exactly. And we couldn't for the life of us, we couldn't put it together. And that's what it made me think about when I was like, I'm by no means, I'm no Eric Bieniemy, I'm none of these head coaches.
I hear you.
But being a black woman in this space is just like being a black man in this space. We're all in the same space, and we have to constantly fight. We have to constantly fight for, and you get tired of trying to prove yourself. You get tired of putting the same thing on paper. You get tired of applying. When you know that you're overqualified, if the man can go back to back to back, this means that you can talk about Super Bowls back to back like that. And then all of a sudden the man bombing interviews? I don't think so.
You know what? Keisha Kelly, Black College Experience, joining us here on the lunch break. And I'm going to go ahead too. For all the people out there with that victim mentality, so, you're just being a victim. Shut up. And I don't even use that word. I think that's a cuss word, so I'm cussing you right now. Shut up. Just shut up. You've never been black. You've never been in Keisha's shoes. You've never been in mine. And let me take that back to Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy, you can't start counting how many interviews he had and say that that's, something is going on there, because there were people that brought Eric Bieniemy in and interviewed him knowing they weren't going to hire him. They brought him in because he was black. They brought him in because of the Rooney Rule. That's only reason why they were never intending to give him the job. So don't you dare start counting the number of interviews that Eric Bieniemy had and trying to hold that against him because he clearly doesn't interview well. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Go up and look at Dan Campbell's first press conference and convince me that that joker interviewed well before you dare come for Eric Bieniemy or Tony Dungy, because that's what they said about him back in the day. He didn't interview well. Please. Miss me.
Exactly.
Keisha Kelly, it's real out in here. It's real. And I said it yesterday with the young lady that's the position coach up in Washington. First woman, a black woman, to be a position coach in the NFL. We can't be mad at her. We men cannot be mad at her. Yes, that's an opportunity missed by us, but that's part of the bigger picture.
I'm going to get on the phone and call Doug Williams in a minute myself. Maybe I can get to Washington.
Child, listen, you better go on and throw your resume that way and quit playing. Look, Mike Mayock got a general manager position, and he was an analyst. He was a broadcast journalist like you and me. So I'm trying to tell don't they have a Supreme Court justice that's got probably as many hours in the courtroom that you and I have? Listen, throw that resume out every chance you get, baby. Every chance you get.
I am. I told one of my friends from CNN, I said, listen, I'm about to just start applying and throwing my resume out here. If they can do it, why come we can't?
All I'm saying is, man, it's just different, and folks don't understand it. And instead of them not trying to understand it, they just want to go with, oh, well, clearly he wasn't the best person for the job. That's not how it works. That's not how it always works. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before you go, the situation up in Seattle, the guy, I don't even want to call him what I want to call him, that choked his girlfriend out, and we had to wait all day for Seattle to do something about it. And to my knowledge, I still don't see a statement by the NFL. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
So, and I haven't saw it from the NFL. The only thing I heard is, from Seattle is that I think they put him off the team and he needs to get help. That's not a you need to get help type of situation. That's you need to get some, Ray Carruthers? You need some, you need some jail. Ray Carruthers. You need some jail time. You need some serious help. Because if you're mad because she won't bow down to you, it's something deeply seated, deeply rooted into what you did. And the fact that we didn't hear about this until we started seeing it bounce on Twitter, Facebook, or wherever we saw it start popping up on social media, that's the kind of stuff that we always reflect on. The woman, the black woman, the woman, period. We're the most unprotected. It's always something when it comes to the woman. Like, how is it that we don't know about this? And how is the NFL hadn't put out anything, but y'all can put out information about Deshaun and all this other stuff and what's going on with Super Bowl and all this other stuff. No, put out the stuff that you need to put out, because that is very well newsworthy.
What's interesting is the way the articles were written. Chad Wheeler was disagreeable during the arrest process. In other words, he resisted arrest. Chad has bipolar disorder and hadn't taken his medicine. What's that got to do with the fact that he choked a woman out, thought she was dead, sat down, ate his meal, and when she popped up, had the nerve to say, "You're still alive"? Where's his mugshot?
But let that had been a Deshaun Watson or a Cam Newton. They were kicked off of the team. They had domestic violence from their past. They didn't X, Y, and Z. The story is different, and that's another thing another story for another day, but that's another thing that I simply get into all the time. As journalists, we control the narrative.
That's it.
We have got to stop painting the story for other people differently. I had that same conversation. When someone is trying to tell the story correctly, you fired versus somebody parting ways.
Right. They agreed to part ways with Matt Patricia, but Anthony Lynn got fired in LA from the Chargers.
Correct.
Yeah. Keisha Kelly, I'm rocking Tuskegee today.
I saw that. I like that.
Tuskegee still owes me $50 because I put money on my dorm room. One of my football player ahead of me, Troy Richburg, had gone down to Tuskegee. I was on my way down there to play wide receiver for Tuskegee, and Troy came back in the middle of the night talking about, you don't want to go there. It's a little too rough for us. And so I never got my $50 back, but I decided to rock them today. We're going with the Tuskegee University Tigers today. So I know you got a lot of love for them.
Absolutely. I truly do. I really do.
Hey, well, listen, keep me in your prayers. I've got to talk to a group of young people on Saturday about their college experience, about their high schoolers, juniors, and seniors. And I got to talk to them about staying encouraged as they search for the college or university of their choice. You know I'm going to be talking up the HBCUs, right?
Please do. And if you just feel like you want to just do some extra dropping of Southern University, don't mind. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Street, we're
in fact, I might go because they told me to wear a college shirt. I'm definitely not wearing Tulane. I'm not wearing UNO. I might go ahead and rock that Southern University shirt for them on Saturday.
Please do.
All
Please
right.
do. And keep me in your prayers because I will be in Mobile. So I think I'm gonna throw on my Hank Aaron shirt this weekend.
I know that's right. Keisha Kelly, you are the best in the business, and I love you for free. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, please.
I am on Instagram, Black College Experience. I am on Twitter, Black College EXP. We're on Facebook, The Black College Experience.
Man, I mean it. I love, and I saw the BET shout out. That's big stuff right there, Keisha.
Between BET and Will Packer, I had to go and check Andre. I was like, wait, is this really Will Packer? Let me make sure this is a verified account. And it was. And it was because when I was watching the show, they said something, is that somebody from Morehouse? And I was like, they dropped the Morehouse in there. And that's when he went back with the HBCU love. I said, y'all know I don't miss HBCU stuff. I truly don't. I do not miss it. I don't miss it. I don't care what it is. I will not miss it.
Well, I tell you what, we're giving away tickets to the State Fair Classic with Grambling and Prairie View coming up on February the 27th. We gave away 4 sets of pair of tickets yesterday. Got some more I'm going to give away. So you know it's all about the HBCUs over here on the lunch break.
Let me tell my people to be paying attention.
Tell them tune in next Wednesday. They got another chance to win.
I will. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Keisha. And again, I appreciate you. Let me know anything we can do for you because you always bless us here on the lunch break.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Keisha Kelly, Black College Experience, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Let me go to my next caller. I have a feeling I know who this is. Let me go. Big Time Floyd, I see you right there. Alicia Compton, what up, though? Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Brother AJ, how's it going, Ferdinand?
Hey, Ferdinand, caller of the year 2017. What's up?
Hey, man, just want to give a shout out to the new coach at Texas, Mr. Cully. Congratulations to him. Would that help the Texas at this point with the decision that Deshaun has to make? Absolutely not. Still wants Deshaun to keep going forward. I think that the agent that he have and the knowledge that he has, it's in his contract. That he can do what he's doing. So I still think that he needs to move forward and move on. And no disrespect to nobody. It's a business, and once you can negotiate your contract, you don't have to please people. You please yourself.
Yeah, no, I am in agreement with you, and that's why I say I came in here today. I'm not going to downplay David Culley. I'm happy that a brother got a job that so few of us get, and I don't want nobody coming to me with the numbers. Oh, but this and oh, but that. Hush. The brother got an opportunity that very few people get, let alone very few black people. So congratulations, Dave Culley. I want him to be as successful as possible. But what's interesting is how the Texans failed to release the information that they had received a week ago, an official trade request from Deshaun Watson. And he, up to today, was trying to make it seem like Dave Culley had a legitimate shot to save the relationship with Deshaun Watson, literally trying to make Deshaun look bad. And that's why I have limited respect for this leadership team that the Texans have put in place.
Yeah. What the coaches that come into Houston for the last year up until now, whether it's been Dexter Baker, Steve Salas, and Mr. Cuddy, they were just being misled. You can't turn situations around when you don't have opportune enough time, AJ, to make it happen. Steve Salas, who thought he would have a superstar, absolutely, and was just totally left in limbo. Mr. Cully, who they knew, he didn't know, but the Texans already, like I said, had in place a trade.
Yep.
Now, why you didn't let him know?
Right. Hey, Ferdinand, stay right there. Let me take one quick break. I'm going to take one quick break. I'll be right back with Ferdinand, Caller of the Year 2017, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
My name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
The lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Streaming live on KYOKradio.org. It's our Throwback Thursday. And let me jump on with Ferdinand, Caller of the Year 2017. And Ferdinand, I mean, again, you bring up such good points. I don't know if they didn't or did tell David Culley about the trade request, but they didn't tell the fans. They didn't tell the media. They didn't leak that to the media. And it wasn't until, everybody was going along like, oh, man, now we got a chance to keep Deshaun. Now we got a chance to keep Deshaun. That Deshaun's people let it be known that that trade request was made over a week ago, and it was no longer about them hiring Eric Bieniemy or David Culley or Leslie Frazier or a black head coach. Deshaun was done and wants out of Houston.
That's real simple. No, that's real simple. So you're trying to put a Band-Aid of a cut that's already, had no medicine put on it. That's what they're doing as a Texan. And for the guy who doesn't interview well, he's already part of a championship organization. And you're going to tell me a non-championship organization tell me he doesn't interview well? I want to keep it in perspective. He doesn't interview well. Well, undoubtedly, he must have said something to get on a championship team. Don't you think, AJ?
Yeah, I'm not even entertaining that nonsense. But I can't stand people that are running around with that kind of speak. That but look at all the places he interviewed. Clearly he hadn't done something right. They didn't all even care about hiring him. They just wanted to check the box that he, that they interviewed a black head coach. And that's why you start to see a lot of black head coaches or head coach candidates turning down interviews, because a lot of folks don't want to just be the Rooney Rule interview. Folks want a legitimate shot to be a head coach. And a lot of teams are not serious about bringing in black head coaches with the teams and the rosters that they have.
Well, AJ, I'm like this, man. If I'm applying for a job, don't waste my time, because I'm not going to waste yours. I'm coming to be interviewed by you. Now, you've studied my paperwork. You did a background check on who I am. And so if you're calling me in to interview me, then I should be the next candidate for that job. If I'm not the candidate for that job, just don't interview me. I don't have time to waste. I'm not going to waste AJ's time. I'm sure they're not going to waste my own. So we need to quit playing games with people's time and be serious about it. If you didn't have, and you wouldn't, only reason why they hired a black coach, AJ, just to pacify what is going on in today's problem. That's not going to keep Deshaun there. That's not who Deshaun wants to be playing for. And look, you can't keep this guy running for the rest of his life, and he's supposed to be happy. First of all, he and Cal McNair should be talking hand in hand, figuring out what is the best case scenario for this team and direction need to be going in. But if I don't have that kind of connection with the owners, look, I'm not mad at you. When I go to this other team, I'm not going to disrespect your team. I'm not going to belittle your team because I appreciate you bringing me over there. But as long as I can negotiate my birthright, look here, Doc, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, man, and that's why I say I get frustrated when people say, "Oh, well, if these guys want to have a say in the ownership, then they ought to start their own teams or their own leagues." And then when somebody talks about doing, "Oh, these guys don't know what they're doing. If they didn't have these teams on positions on a team, they'd be handing me my fries in the drive-through." You can't have it both ways. You can't tell us to do our own thing, and then we start talking about doing our own thing. You decide we ain't smart enough to do our own things. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's time out for it in 2021. Deshaun is still under contract with the Texans. Yes, that's true. The Texans still have, I think, 3 opportunities to franchise him. So the Texans literally, watch this, the Texans literally can control the rights to Deshaun Watson through 2028. It's a long time. It's a long time. If I'm Deshaun and I'm looking down the line and I'm looking at how you treating me now, I ain't hanging around till 2028. And there are folks that say, well, they ought to play hardball with him, make him sit out a whole year. I think Deshaun's prepared to do that. And I don't think people understand the difference between collecting checks and having principles and morals and values and a code that you want to govern yourself by. The Texans have not honored that with Deshaun, and Deshaun has said, I don't want to play under that environment.
Well, AJ, we've seen another player sit out for a whole year. Hadn't affected anything on his behalf. He's still that same great guy, and he negotiated a wonderful situation for himself. When you can do that as a player and call your own shots, you do just that. So if Deshaun has to sit out for a whole year, I would do it. Wouldn't have a problem with it. He has to stay healthy. He is a prime example of a champion. And once you're hurt, you're not good to anybody. So I sit out and I weigh my options and I go with the best situation that can suit me and my family.
I'm not trying to put Deshaun in the same category as Muhammad Ali. I'm definitely not trying to put him in the same category with Colin Kaepernick. I'm not trying to put him in the same category with even Barry Sanders or Calvin Johnson. But at some point, some people say enough is enough. And there's no amount of money that will make them stay. There's no shame that the organization or the fans can put them under. Muhammad Ali took the heavyweight championship of the world and threw it in the trash and went to jail behind it. Colin Kaepernick was unfairly banned and colluded against and kept out of the league for kneeling against social injustice, against people of color and racism. And now Deshaun is saying, I don't want to play for an organization that I can't trust. And instead of being supported in this free capitalistic society, he's being vilified.
Well, AJ, I'll leave you with this. Why is it okay when a team is through with a player, they can throw him away like he never existed? And so why is it wrong for a player to fight for everything that they believe in? Now, if you're not a champion, I understand that. Everybody don't believe that they're a champion, but champions do championship things, AJ.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I'm not mad at Deshaun.
Man, you and I talk about that all the time. You got to have championship mentality on the ownership level and championship mentality in the locker room. And the have not shown either. Now, I'm not talking about the J.J. Watt and you should be happy to be here. It's a privilege and you got to play and all that. Stop it. I'm talking about championship mentality through and through. And that's why the Texans have never been to an AFC championship game. That's why they've never been to a Super Bowl. And there's nothing in anything that they've done in the last 12 months that shows me that they're on their way. Nothing.
And we can say this, AJ, and we through. I don't care who the Texans bring in as a head coach. If you don't put the players in place that can help that team win games, it's just not going to happen. They've tore down the infrastructure of what the Texans had, and it showed 4 wins. And if that's a championship caliber team you want to be running behind, so be it. But I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Ferdinand, it's always a pleasure, my brother. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Appreciate everything you do, AJ.
All right, thanks, Ferdinand.
Stay steadfast and unmovable.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Ferdinand, caller of the year 2017, very first call on this show back in 2017. And I am grateful that, heading into 4 years later, he's still calling. Must be doing something right. John McClain, writer for the Houston Chronicle, said yesterday, no, I take that back, said this morning, just after 9 o'clock, talk about spoiling Texans party with a new coach hire. It's leaking to the national media by people close to Watson. He's made an official trade request. I feel bad for the new coach, David Culley, on what should be the best day of his career. Talk about not being able to read a room. John, it was okay for the Texans to cover up the fact that they had gotten a trade request officially over a week ago. But it's okay for them to lie about it and cover it up, but it's not okay for Deshaun Watson's people to leak the truth out. I don't understand this new movement in America where it's better to lie about something and control how people feel about it than to give them the truth and let them develop their own feelings about it. Where did that come from? What in the world? I mean, really, the John McClains of the world, I think what John is really mad about it is that they leaked it to somebody other than him, because the leak went to Adam Schefter instead of John McClain, who gets the leaks from the Houston Texans organization. I think that's what that's more about. I didn't get the story. They didn't leak it to me. I've been calling them. John, everybody don't think you're the general, bro. And oh yeah, by the way, you have been very team friendly. When we're in that interview room, guess what? Guess who gets the first question? John McClain. Guess who gets the second question? John McClain. Guess who, if they want to have the third question, they get it? John McClain. So yeah, miss me on that one, bro. Miss me on that one. Yeah. I somebody that I really care and respect deeply, Samika Knight from ABC 13, put out a couple of hours ago, he wants out. Deshaun Watson officially requested trade from the Houston Texans, sources tell ESPN. And a number of people have gotten on here and really have blamed him. Wait a minute. Let's see. I tried to find this guy. One guy went on the whole, the players need to realize that they're players and not owners. And, if they don't like the way things are being run, then they need to go out and build their own. And I'm like, okay, no problem. No problem at all. Let me get Kyrie Irving. Let me get Steph Curry. Let me get, some other people who have those kind of visions and dreams on the line, and y'all stay out of the conversation. Don't talk down on it. Don't give your opinion about it. Just leave it be. Just leave it be. Hey, Monica Morris Howard, what's going on, Queen? Sydney, I see you up there. What's up, Queen? So I just don't understand. Oh, here it is. I found it. He says, who cares anymore? Just go. I like Deshaun, but if these players can't understand that they are players and not owners and managers, build your own franchise and run it the way you want to run it. Okay. Remember you said that. Because I think that that's coming to a head. I really do. I think that more people are getting to that point. Let me take a break. I'll be right back.
Need to know today. Now that the article of impeachment in the case against Donald Trump has been transferred to the Senate, both sides are preparing their cases. The question before the Senate will be, is Donald Trump innocent or guilty of inciting violence January 6th? Meanwhile, there are reports law enforcement officials are investigating more threats of violence. The threats are said to be made against current legislators to take place during the upcoming impeachment trial. According to a new study, people with diabetes who take the medication metformin are at significantly less risk of death due to COVID-19 compared with those who do not. The study showed that those who tested positive for COVID-19 and were taking metformin had an 11% risk of dying versus a 24% risk. Researchers are not certain why metformin had those effects on the virus, but they believe the medicine's anti-inflammatory and anti-thrombotic effects may be a factor. Please visit SibylWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
You're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I don't know who's going to do it. I don't think it's going to be The Rock and the XFL. I think, The Rock and his ex-wife, I think they're going to put together a very good product. I think it's going to be fun to watch. It was fun to watch last season when it was under Vince McMahon. But I don't think that The Rock's league is going to be a referendum league on how owners are running the NFL. I don't think it's going to be that. But I think that you're going to find, I'm going to even go out on a limb and say in the next 3 to 5 years, I could be wrong, it could be sooner, but in the next 3 to 5 years, I think that you're going to see African American people get together in a collaborative effort to put something out that will rival the NFL and the NBA. I do. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, if not sooner, that you're going to see African Americans put something together that rivals the NBA and the NFL. Now, will it be all black people? No, I'm not saying that. And I think people keep missing that fact. Kyrie Irving was not saying that they start a black-only league. What he was saying is they start a league where there can be black owners, white owners, minority owners, that there is not this exclusivity to the club that nobody can get into. And they do things that are player-focused and not just ownership-focused. And I think that you're already seeing stair steps to that. There's a fan-controlled football league that's going to be coming out in the spring, barring COVID, where the fans get to control who plays and who does this and who does that. I think they even get to call some of the plays in the game. Johnny Manziel's talking about playing in it. There are former NFL players and others that are part of the ownership group. I think you're starting to see those things starting to happen. And it's not a referendum on race. We're tired of just being the product and having none of the say. And we can't even buy into your exclusive club because you put it in a place where it's almost nearly impossible to do. I mean, NBA teams aren't for sale every day. NFL teams aren't for sale every day. I'm not even talking about having the money to do it. There's a lot of people out there. Well, there are people out there that have the money to do it or could put groups together to do it. I'm talking about having the opportunity to do it. When you have 30 NBA teams, 32 NFL teams, that's 62 teams. And think about the last time one of them was for sale. Be right back.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers
Kris Gardner,
who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
feel today? Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. We ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. And I got the guy who won't back down. He said he'll never back down. He ain't apologizing to nobody. He writes. He blogs. He never tried to dunk on anybody. No, he never tried to make them mad. He ain't tried to make them look bad. But life goes on. What you do, Kris? Y'all, it's Kris Gardner from Houston Roundball Review right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Kris, what it do, baby?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I tried to give Texan fans about an hour to get stuff off their chest before I chimed in with my raspy voice today.
What's up? What's up, Raspy? What's going on, man? What's happening in the throat area?
Allergies are rough, brother.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. And if you ever want to clean out a room, just go in there, sneeze, and cough and see what happens.
Oh, right now, no doubt. No doubt. Folks be like, oh, no, Kris sick. Got to get out.
Got to get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get out of here. Listen, man, I hope you feel better. Take your allergy meds. Do what you got to do, man.
I've gotten better the last day. So yeah, that's why I'm here to chime in with talk some Rockets, man.
Man, so I'm excited about tonight. First time we get to see Victor O and John Wall in the backcourt at the same time. I was hoping Christian Wood would be available tonight.
What you mean, bro? They did that Tuesday.
Did I? You're right.
Yeah, man. Where you been? You all Texans out, man. Deshaun and crew got you all frustrated, which is understandable from what I'm hearing. But yeah.
I know. And what's crazy was that was the battle for bragging rights against the former team, and John Wall got the better of that. What was he and Westbrook beefing about that night?
Just two dudes. I like how John Wall said it. Just two competitive guys talking about basketball, nothing personal. But John said after the game, he said, I think in their matchup so far in their NBA careers, that's only the third time he's beaten Russ.
Wow. That says a lot.
Yeah, and he used some colorful language that I won't say on the show, but he said Russ kicked his butt, basically.
Yeah. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the lunch break. Well, you can see I got it all wrong. So what I do like is the Rockets have won 3 in a row, chance for winning 4 in a row tonight. Boogie DeMarcus Cousins has been playing exceptionally better than he has in a while. Victor O dropping big points, and the crew. I love the spunk of this team. Am I off? What am I seeing?
You're not off at all. I think my issue with Vic right now is he's not shooting a good percentage.
Okay.
He's getting 20 points, but he's taking 21 shots to get those 20 points.
Okay.
So he's got to tweak that, get better there, shoot closer to 50%, and then I think that'll be a good addition, more positive. But Boogie's question, brother, is how will he respond coming off the bench? More minutes in a starting role these last couple of games. He's done great. Christian Wood comes back. He goes to the bench. Will Boogie still be great?
Yeah, because it's not just ability. Then it's mental as well.
Yes.
It's mental as well. It's like the backup quarterback. Are you ready when your number's called? Or are you sulking because you didn't get to be the starter? It's not easy to be a 6 man in a league of, professionals like this.
And he started his whole life.
Yeah.
So and I'm not knocking him for this. He's
right.
saying he will, it's up to him to answer when his number is called. Correct. But you got to get used to it. If you haven't done it your entire life, you got to get used to something. Yeah. So Eric Gordon is accustomed to coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Boogie Cousins is not. So once he gets comfortable in that role and still is able to put up good numbers, Rockets will be rolling even more.
Hey, listen, I need you to do me a favor. I'm not going to be able to do it tonight because my pride is getting in the way. Can you do me a favor when you get on the call tonight? Can you tell Eric Gordon, AJ over at the lunch break, say he owes you an apology? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Based on so far,
He been playing
looks great. Yeah,
he's playing a little bit better.
he's doing a great job. He's taking advantage of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
He's more aggressive. But first things first, he's healthier now than he has been. So that's a key to success of a lot of players is health.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. The fact that he's not depending upon the outside shot and he's using his body, his strength, his ability, and taking it to the hole, kind of like he did back in his college days. I ain't saying he's turned back the hand of time, but that muscle memory from back then. I used to be able to do this back then. I can do it now. It's helpful. It's helpful because it's getting other guys shots and opportunities, and it's putting some pressure on that defense. I like what I'm seeing out of Eric Gordon right this minute.
And it's all part of a diversified offensive attack. And that's what we have wanted for a while. I think fans have clamored for it for a while. And this is a different system. Coach Silas is encouraging it. And you're seeing the players do more than just jack up threes all day long.
Yeah. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the show. A couple of things that I wanted to get to real quick. A lot of folks are excited about Mason Jones. A lot of folks are excited about what they're seeing out of Mason Jones when he gets the minutes that he gets. There's so many names we could talk about. What are your thoughts about him?
No fear.
Yeah.
My man had confidence when he didn't get drafted. Arkansas, he had a mindset he's going to prove folks wrong who doubted him. He believes, which is good for him, that he's a top player come out of the draft. So that's the confidence he was bringing into the organization. And it's just another example of John Lucas and player development.
Yeah. John is definitely one of the best. Given that they just got the young man out of Cleveland that clearly needs some development kind of off the court. What are you hearing about this young man coming over, and what's the plan with him?
Kevin Porter Jr. has issues in his personal life that he has to resolve first and foremost. And if Luke can't help him, I'm not sure who can.
Right, I agree with that.
This could be Kevin Porter Jr.'s last stop in the NBA for a while if Luke can't help him.
Yeah.
Now, his last issue at Cleveland, he had to blow up with the Cavs GM. AJ, if you have a blow up with the GM, it's just a matter of days before you're gone.
Yeah.
But JB Bickerstaff, coach of the Cavs, spoke to Coach Silas, and just really believes that KP needed a change of scenery, and hopefully John Lucas and the plan that the Rockets organization is putting together for him will help him off the court first, and then to be able to shine on the court second.
Yeah, I was told by Willie Gibson up there in Ohio, who covers Cleveland, that if they can get him together mentally and personally, that this literally is a lottery pick. This young man, has lottery pick ability and could be the missing link for what the Rockets are trying to do.
Oh, he's talented. And let's be real. If he didn't have talent, the Rockets wouldn't take a chance on him.
Yeah.
So, let's be honest about that. He's definitely gifted basketball-wise, but he's got to get his life together first.
Yeah. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the lunch break. What's going on with not Ben McLemore? What's going on with Daniel House? What's happening with him?
He's healthy, finally. He played Tuesday, surprisingly, because he practiced Monday for the first time in like 3 weeks. He played Tuesday, sucking wind tremendously because he was out of basketball shape.
I got you. Okay.
First he had the issue with the bad back, lower back, and then he had to self-isolate because of COVID.
Yeah.
So that set him back. And it's hard to stay in basketball shape when you're not playing basketball.
Right.
So, you can work with the staff and do the video things and, okay, House, we need to work on this. All that's nice to a point. Now he's got to get in basketball shape.
Okay. All right. So here's the big question. And I tell you what, let me take a quick break.
Okay.
And I'll come back with the big question. It's kind of tied to the Texans and the Rockets. So we'll do that next with Kris Gardner when we come back. If you are a licensed CDL driver and have a good driving record and a TWIC card, and you're interested in driving for a reputable company, then guess what? They got one that wants to talk to you. 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. If you're a licensed CDL driver with a good driving record and a TWIC card, there's a reputable company that wants to talk to you. 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they
Chris,
say
I'm drinking weight loss coffee. You don't know nothing about that. You don't have to deal with that. I got to drink some weight loss coffee.
Does it work?
I'm just drinking it. I don't know yet.
Oh, it's your first day trying it?
tax doctor
Third.
Uncle Sam's people.
And it ain't work yet?
I feel like I've done 3 push-ups and I'm not seeing no results yet. I'm finna give up on it.
Uncle Sam very much money at all.
That's old head mentality, man.
And I'm happy too. Thanks, tax doctor.
Somebody took a look at me and said, hey, man, I'm finna send you something that might be able to help you. You like to drink coffee? Yeah. All right, I'm finna send something to you. So they sent me 3 bags of weight loss coffee.
9359
Okay, good luck, brother.
603
Yeah. It tastes pretty good. Well, at least I can enjoy the taste.
603
Don't give up.
I can't, man. I'm trying to get spelt like you,
Here's
bro.
an important COVID-19
Good
school
luck.
system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please
Just say
pay
good luck.
close attention to this message. The current school systems were
Take
not
more vitamin C too, brother.
learning.
Yeah,
If
I
you're
do take
worried that
plenty of
your child
vitamin C.
may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe
I
losing
need to get back out on that
self-confidence,
track.
or you're worried about them getting into
That
a good
helps.
college because of their grades,
I haven't been on it like I
help
wanted
is
to.
available to
You
you.
gonna walk or run?
Potential tutoring.
start
They
walking
can help
until I
with in-home or
get my wheel
online
up like
tutoring
Daniel House.
and help your child with any subject
Okay.
at every grade level.
And then I'll
Even
put in
for
about 3 miles a day.
They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get
All right, this is
better
the last
grades
one, and then the
today.
jingle.
Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3
Alicia, I'll let you know off air.
Legend continue.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday. You know what it is. It's the day that Kris Gardner from Houston Roundball Review drops in on us and gives us that NBA knowledge with your Rockets, those Houston Cougars, TSU Tigers, and more. Kris, so the Texans decided to go with a young man by the name, he ain't young, 65, a young man by the name of David
Culley.
Culley. I got to keep getting it right. African-American, first-time head coach, all that. Is it any coincidence that all 3 major sports teams in Houston have brought in black head coaches, but brought them in not when things were good, but when things needed to be cleaned up and rebuilt and kind of rearranged, so to speak?
You tell me about the Astros and the Texans clean up. Dusty Baker, baseball lifer.
Yep.
And he's been put in situations like that before.
Yep.
So I'll say no, it's not a coincidence. It's a shame brothers are put into this kind of situation. We're not, we're used to it. I mean, all of us are.
That's interesting you say that, because it's true. We're used to it. We're used to there being something up underneath the bed. We're used to something being hidden in the closet or in the drawers. Like, what are you not telling me? And then when we find out, it's like, oh, okay, all right, well, let me figure out how to make this work.
Make it work. It's that old thing that we all grew up with. Got to work twice as hard to get half pay, something like that. And I read that's more coming on here with you, brother. You tell me. I saw that a report, and I don't know because football is no longer one of my things, but Josh McCown is going to be on the staff and be like a coach in waiting for after a couple of years. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I knew it when they brought in 65-year-old David Culley as a first-time head coach, that he is the coach in he is a coach, a bridge coach, if you will, to them getting to. He's literally having to train his replacement. Is what it's basically going to be. And I said that at the top of the show, that it's unfortunate that you'll bring in a brother to clean it up, but then you'll put somebody else in to take it from there after it's been cleaned up.
Cleaned up, set the table,
yep,
and then be pushed aside for the successor to get all the rewards and benefits.
I think out of the three positions that Steven Silas was definitely brought in to clean things up, because I mean what they were doing just wasn't working. But I don't think that Steven was brought in with the knowledge that they were going to lose Harden and Westbrook in the offseason, or at the beginning of the season, the way that happened. But I still think he was the cleanup man. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I mean, he said a few times this week obviously the roster turnover has been tremendous from when he was hired. And he did not expect it. He did not expect James and Russ to be gone by now.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And I think he's making the best out of the situation. And I think going forward, the big issue for the Rockets now is health. Because I like the pieces. I like what they have coming off the bench.
Yeah. No, I said it yesterday, bro. I came on the top of the show with what they did the other night. I said, let me tell you something. I'm not even counting wins and all that. I like the mentality and the attitude of this Rockets team, from the coaching to the players and everything. You don't have anyone that's pulling in a different direction on this team, and you got some enforcers, because John Wall ain't backing down. I told y'all about Boogie, man. I sent a message to Coach, to their former coach, Nat, and I said, listen, your boy is still doing his thing. And I'm telling you, man, I like the pieces that they put together. I don't know if this is going to be the roster, for the whole season, because of course they got trade deadline coming up. But I believe that this team is going to turn it around under the leadership of Steven Silas.
And they have guys who like playing defense.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
Yeah.
I'm a defensive guy. I said it to you before.
Yeah.
I said it to the fam on the show, previous trips on the show. I like defense. I like Jay Sean Tate. I like Mason Jones. I like those guys. All of them have chips on their shoulders. And that's really part of me too.
Yeah.
I've been doing what I've been doing for 25, 27 years now. And a lot of folks told me many times to give up, to stop, try something else. Why are you doing this? So I got a chip. Vic, I love Vic's, one of his media sessions. I don't know if it's a brick, boulder, it's bigger than a chip. So all of them have that. So I can relate to Rocket players on this squad. So I still got my chip. I keep grinding and do what I got to do. So I like this team.
Let me tell you something, man. I got to give you some kudos while you're living, man. I love, and I've always respected this about you. I don't know if I've ever said it to you, how I see you on the front row, right in the middle of the row. And you got, 610 on one side, 790 on the other side, ESPN, the national network, all them in the room, but you right there on that front row, right in the middle of it. And Doc, you getting your stuff. And I respected that about you, Kris, and still do. I
Appreciate
still
it.
do, man. So like you said, keep doing what you're doing with that chip. Definitely keep doing it.
And I stand on the shoulders of giants, and I never forget that. So I will always bust my butt to continue pushing forward. And now I'm passing it forward and sharing with the youngsters that I'm trying to help get through doors that I kind of got a toe in. And I hope for them, the door is open wider for them so they can get through and go beyond what I've done.
Yeah.
That's all part of what it is.
Nothing but respect for you, man. Nothing but respect for you. And I love that you're doing that as well. Can I have a ooh moment for real quick?
I guess.
Kris, ooh, did you see those blocks Kenyon Martin Jr. had last week? Did I tell you that this boy was crazy and crazy talented or not? Did I say it or did I say it?
He's got serious hops. And that stuff he had on Boban was legit.
Kris! It's like he just kept going up. It's like, wait a minute, where you going? And threw that man shots out of there like that. I'm telling you, man. And he comes from a daddy that has a mentality that It's like a cross between pit bull, Rottweiler, old Doberman Pinscher, and some other kind of dog that just will bite you for no reason at all. That's what he's got rolling through his DNA.
I mean, it really is. KJ Martin is another one of those guys on the team with a chip.
Yep.
These guys are just, they have that, we're going to show you attitude and either get out the way, we're going to jump over you,
yep,
or push you out the way.
Yep. I had to get that in, bro. I was like, oh, where's Kris? Where's Kris? All right,
you should have texted me, man. You should have texted me when you were hyped.
And I a lot of times I think about doing it. I said, Kris busy, man. Kris got stuff going on, man. So tonight, is it a signature win if the Rockets get it? Is it one of those important games? It's early in the regular season. What kind of value does tonight have on it, given the 3-game win streak that the Rockets have?
It's a home game. When the Rockets get to the point where you can almost chalk up a home game as a W, that's when I know that they're ready to roll. But Portland is so banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Just get wins. I'm not going to read too much into one way or the other because injuries and COVID are all over the league.
Yeah.
Just get the W.
Yeah.
Worry about the signature wins and message and all those cliches we like to toss around. You know, if the Blazers don't get the message, was the message sent?
Gotcha. Last night, the Lakers had their road win streak stopped on, heck of a play. And folks are trying to say, oh, Philly sent a message to the league and to the Lakers. Did they? Did they really?
All it does is show how valuable Joel Embiid is.
Yeah.
Because without him, my sorry beat Pistons beat the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
With him, the Sixers waxed Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So Joel, I think the Sixers without Joel this year are 0-6.
Oh yeah,
with him, they're winning with him. So and what I love, he's a big man with a low post game. He's showing that a skilled big man still has value in the post in today's NBA.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you know what? I have to give him some love because most folks don't. But your boy Ben Simmons triple-double last night, 17, 11, and 10, and he took 0 shots from the 3.
Say that again?
Ben Simmons, 17, 11, and 10, 0 shots from the 3.
So he still had an impact on a game without shooting a three-pointer? Imagine that. Oh, my goodness. That still exists? That's still possible?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Zion Williamson last night, 32 points, took 1 3 and missed it. Let me take a quick break. We're going to come back with Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball review right here on the lunch break. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000 if you want to ask Kris right here on the lunch break.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less
Kris,
than
you're going to
30
have me
minutes.
texting you throughout these games, bro. You're going to be like, AJ, I'm trying to work, man.
OMG has them too.
That's fine, no problem.
Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs.
Oh,
so give them a call.
Willie Gibson, David Grubb, Kelsey Nelson, they be like, AJ, I'm going to hit you up later, bro.
832-767-3211.
That's good company, man. I'm good with that.
At 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey, you want some sports with your lunch? Well, tune into the legendary KYOK at the lunch break, and I'm Raven Rogers.
Man, let me tell you something, Kris. It was all eyes on me last Saturday because I was a guest co-host on the Not So Christian and Me Show. I was right here in the studio with them, dog. I was in here, and man, I didn't even know how to act. They are phenomenal people, professional, very, very good show. And man, I enjoyed it so much, man. Larry Scott, Denise Scott, Natasha Marie, and that team, man, they're a phenomenal show. Every Saturday, 1 o'clock, right here on the legendary KYOK.
And I forgot. I hate that I missed it. At 1 o'clock, I probably could have tuned in because that was the U of H men's game against Temple had just ended. So my fault for missing it.
It's okay. I'm glad you missed it because, man, I embarrassed everybody connected with me, man, because I was in there like, ooh, wait, what? And when they asked me anything intelligent, I was like, I don't know, but y'all go ahead.
It's all good, bro. You
know,
had fun.
That was my star moment, man, being on the Not So Christian in Me show, bro. That was definitely on the bucket list. I'm going to go skydiving in April. I've got a friend that is, in fact, he is related to Gerald Green. He's related to Gerald Green, and every year for his birthday, he goes skydiving. And this year, I've said I'm going to knock that one off my bucket list. I'm going skydiving in April. Any words of encouragement for me?
You going to put it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't put it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, it didn't happen, right?
So I can watch you fall to the earth and scream and holler and then parachute.
Screaming like a little baby. And oh yeah, by the way, I need to have some adults depends on my way down. I'm just telling you the truth.
Have fun, man. That is not on my bucket list.
Listen, I went to the skydiving because the bungee jumping, that ain't on my list. I need a whole parachute on my back, not a rubber band. I need some real help.
And you make sure that the main chute is there, the backup chute is there, and if they have one, the backup to the backup chute is there.
Bro, listen to me. I ain't got no shame in my game. I'm going with the dude on my back, the dude that has jumped 1,000 times. When he says it's time to pull, I know he wants to live, so I'm gonna be all right. I'm going tandem.
You let me know when you're gonna do it, and I will tune in.
All right. I will let you know because it's coming up in April. I'm knocking another thing off my bucket list, and I'm excited about it, man.
God bless. Should be a lot of fun, though. Seriously, should be a lot of fun. Props to you, brother.
I'm really looking forward to it, man. Speaking of a lot of fun, it looks like the Golden State Warriors are having some fun right now. Steph Curry has kind of put a chip on his shoulder for everybody who said, he can't carry a team. And don't look now, but they are on the rise, had a quality win last night, and the Rook stepped up. What other teams are you seeing in the West that are starting to become a little eye-opening or surprising for you?
Well, in the negative way, sorry to our man David, the Pelicans.
Yeah, I know.
Too much talent to be that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly the pieces don't fit.
Uh-huh.
Because they have individual talent, but teams win in the NBA.
Yeah.
Individuals don't.
Yeah. Where are you? I mean, I'm starting to hear rumors that they're open to trading, of course, Lonzo Ball. I'm also hearing that they're, talking about trading some other pieces.
JJ Redick.
Yeah, Redick. I'm not hearing anything about, of course, Zion or Ingram. But where do you think that they need to move around to get better?
Well, I mean, they're going to build around Zion and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
That's two good foundational pieces. But Stan Van Gundy is a coach. He's a builder. He's not a great GM, as any Piston fan will tell you, because he left that team in shambles before he was let go. But Trey and JJ, they're going to get something for him because he is a legit three-point shooter. And any team with a championship aspiration can always use more three-point shooting.
Yeah. I'm not sold on Griffin either as a GM. They did a kind of diagram like a mafia crime syndicate where they had Griffin in the middle and they had all the arrows pointing to the different parts of the team that he had put together. And it's like, wait a minute, bro, this ain't on Dimps. You put this together.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I don't know. Can they build it with Griffin and Van Gundy right there in New Orleans?
As of now, it looks like no.
Okay.
But they're going to try.
All right. Is Dallas a surprise to you right now?
In a negative way?
Yeah.
They're just so COVID. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, and that's a cop-out answer, but it is impacting so many teams in the league there's reality.
Yeah.
Miami, COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, teams you thought would have better records right now don't. Main reason for that is COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the lunch break. 30 teams in the NBA, 25 of them have been affected by COVID. I mean,
and I want to say this because he passed away because of COVID. Sekou Smith, colleague, 48.
Yeah.
Bro, 48.
Yeah.
And I got to meet him 2 or 3 seasons ago when the Rockets were rolling and were a national darling. He came to town, part of TNT broadcast, things like that. Got to talk to him. Great brother, down to earth. We chopped it up a lot. But I saw him, doing his work nationally, writing, reading about him, following his work, seeing him on TV. And I always look to see people that look like me as inspiration. Growing up, all that. So when the news hit a couple of days ago, man, it hurts. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, brother, I love you.
Yeah.
I don't want to pass up those moments anymore. I text some of my mentees to tell them that I love them because it hurts, man. It hurts that you just never know when your time is going to come. And I don't want us to waste moments not telling people that we care about, that we love them. So, rest in peace to Sekou and to his friends and family who are really hurting. My prayers to you as well. And even that sounds trite, but I mean, COVID is just impacting all of us, man, and it's continuing to do so. And I just hope that the light at the end of the tunnel approaches soon for all of us.
Yeah. No, I'm in agreement with you, brother. And I mean, I love you too. And I tell David that and Kelsey and all of them that. But we just can't take it for granted. And Hugh Douglas, Big Hugh, was the one where I saw his tweet about Sekou. And he literally said he is sick and tired of the folks who, but it only kills 1% of the people. These people are people, and they have names, and they have family, and they're friends, and it shouldn't come down to that. And I felt him. I felt him on that. Sekou. Well,
yeah,
that's you.
I mean, why I don't understand why we don't appreciate people.
Yeah.
Why we don't value life?
Right.
I'm tired of that. And if you're one of those folks who with a rationale, then I'm not going to allow your negativity in my life.
Yeah.
I don't wish ill will on you.
Right.
But clearly your mentality and mine don't mesh.
Yeah, we ain't the same. And it's okay.
Yeah.
You go be different over there, and I will be different over here. And that's why I value this mic. And I'm going to talk about what matters. You saying that over there, let me say this over here. Let's do it that way. So, man, I had just been kind of looking around the league, not really taking in the COVID impact on it, and looking at some surprises in a positive way and like you in a negative way. One that has been positive for me here locally in the state has been San Antonio. I don't know, DeMar DeRozan has had a newfound rejuvenation. Patty Mills off the bench has been, has picked up the scoring load, and they have found a unique way to mix the new with the old, young with the veteran. When you look at the Lonnie Walker, the Force, and guys like that, DeJounte Murray, I've always been a fan of his. And then they got a young man who I really am high on, but he hadn't had breakout yet, and that's Devin Vassell, the young man that they got out of Florida State. Well, any thoughts about San Antonio?
Devin's got a bright future. The irony is with Patty Mills has shot well almost every game this year, except against the Rockets. He struggled against the Rockets, which is usually opposite because he usually kills the Rockets. But he struggled this year against them. But the pieces are meshing nicely. You still see Pop can coach.
Yep.
And I think he's adjusting a little bit to today's NBA to a point. They are shooting more threes, but it all comes down to DeMar DeRozan, the older heads,
Yep.
still showing that they still have some game left.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how much longer they have with LaMarcus Aldridge. I wonder how much longer they're gonna.
Not much longer.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah. We got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. U of H and my alma mater, Tulane. What you got on that one?
Tonight at 8 o'clock, ESPN, it was moved from ESPN2 to ESPN. That was announced either yesterday or the day before. Good luck, Tulane, man. Good luck. It's a home game for Tulane. I'm not sure if Coach Ron Hunter will be on the sideline because he's been dealing with COVID.
Right.
So it's impacting all of us. And for those folks who are, I don't know, in denial, you're choosing to be in denial.
Yeah.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
So I really don't have time for you. But Tulane, home game, U of H should not take them for granted.
Mm-hmm.
It's a road game in conference. So that in itself means it's going to be difficult. Coogs play defense. Defense travels.
Yeah.
If Coogs hit their threes, it's going to be a rout.
Yeah.
If they don't hit their threes at a high percentage, it'll be competitive.
Yeah. The women pulled it off last night against the Green Wave. And any thoughts from that game?
Coach Huey is battling injuries and lost a key player, Julia Blackshell Fair Sr., who will be back. Was going to be back anyway because of the extra year given by the NCAA. But she tore ACL, last week. Mm-hmm. And they were without her, another player, to a medial collateral injury. So he's been battling injuries, but winning on the road in conference play last night, 71-64 over Tulane. They're now 6-4 in conference. So they're still, I think, South Florida is in first place, undefeated. There's a class of the conference.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach Huey and the team they've dealt with their COVID. They had a 3-game losing streak. They have overcome that. They're right in the mix.
Yeah. David Grubb called that one last night too. That
was him. Okay.
Yeah, that was him.
I forgot he was doing that. That's right. I saw them on Twitter when he said he's going to be doing some of those games. I forgot about that.
Yeah, men and women.
Yeah.
I'm real happy for him, man. Real happy for him. TSU, obviously, a little different on the men's side than they thought it would be. Again, COVID. But Prairie View is rolling on the men's
On the men's side, yes.
Yeah, on the men's side. Prairie View is rolling. What are your thoughts about our two SWAC teams?
Man, what PV men did to Jackson State.
I know.
On Monday, my goodness. I think J State scored 5 points in the second half. 5.
Yep.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It reminds me of when Brittany Griner was up at Nimitz and they would take on somebody like Chavez and it'd be 77-5. That'd be the game. Like you scored 5 points all game. I hadn't seen anything like that since, Prairie View did that the other night.
I think, and Jackson State is coached by Lindsey Hunter, alum, but former NBA player as well.
Right.
They are struggling.
Yeah.
I think they're winless for the year. But what Byron Smith and the fellas did to J State on Monday, I think it was 77-31, something like that.
77-32.
So J State had almost as many turnovers as points.
Yeah.
They had 29 turnovers and 32 points.
Yeah.
5 in the second half, man. 5.
Yeah. I know we got a lot of basketball left to play, but when I see Prairie View balling like that, man, they're one of the ones I'm hoping can get into the big dance and get out of that play-in round and get into the big tournament. Thoughts?
I hope so. And first, there will be a tournament.
Yeah.
The variants of the virus are causing some issues and concerns, but there will be a tournament. I hope PV, if they represent the SWAC, I'm like you. I like to see them get in the actual rounds and not the first 4.
Right.
But hasn't happened. I think it's happened once or whatever, but it needs to happen more often than it does.
Yeah.
Coach Smith, guard play, man. Guard, you got good guards, you got a shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got great guards, you got a shot, I should say. So I'm just hoping that COVID is done because I didn't realize this until within the last week or so. HBU women, Houston Baptist women, hadn't played in almost a month.
Wow.
Because of COVID. And they had to reschedule games. And yesterday was their first game, I think, since January 2nd or 3rd. So it's impacting everybody. Rice women have had to postpone 4 games because of COVID now.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be one of the powers in their conference, and COVID has really devastated, their season as well.
So I think just about every local team now has been impacted.
Yeah.
It started off with U of H, and then it's just kind of meandered and eventually got everybody. I think some are impacted earlier, but everybody, I think now with Rice having to postpone women, we're all done now. So it's impacting everyone. It's not, stop ignoring it. Stop treating it like it doesn't exist. It's impacting everyone on the court, off the court. And if it impacts you off the court, that impacts dollars and cents.
Yeah. There was I don't know if you posted it or not. I think it was you that about the young lady that's still dealing with the effects of COVID-19, and she got diagnosed in like April or something like that. And again, she's young, she's an athlete, she's the one that's supposed to be able to bounce back. It's supposed to be like a cold or flu for her, and she's like having trouble breathing still and a lot of other issues. I mean, we I don't know, bro. I always tell people, listen, if you struggle with high school math, you probably ain't gonna be an expert on infectious diseases and viruses. So you might want to listen to some reasonable sources.
Trust the science.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Yeah. But that wasn't me who posted that story, but I'm not surprised. I think Coach Frank Martin, South Carolina, has tested positive twice for COVID. Months ago, some folks said, well, once you get it once, you can't get it again. Not true.
Oops.
One of my classmates has tested positive twice.
Yeah.
She's dealing with it. So, hey, it's out here.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a church member that one of the ministers on my ministers team that has had it twice. And I just told her quietly, don't say nothing, because they say you don't exist. They say you can't do that. So I told her, don't say nothing. They'll take you away. Coach Shaka Smart over at UT, number 5 team in the country, lost the tough one against Oklahoma. And he could be out there on the sidelines with his squad as well.
Shaka's tested positive. I said Frank Martin. I think SMU's head coach tested positive. SMU men's basketball, because women have opted out since December. They opted out for the season. SMU had to have, I think, their player personnel coach or somebody not on the coaching staff have to be in charge of the team because the whole coaching staff was dealing with COVID.
Wow.
So this is where we are.
Yeah. Legitimately.
Yes.
Any word on Michigan? I know they shut everything down for a while. Any word on them and them, getting back up and started, because they're one of the top teams in the country as well.
The players want to play. Michigan Health and Safety said no. 14 days. I think it may shrink to 10 instead of 14, but activities have been paused for Michigan. Big Blue. It's impacting everybody.
Right.
Lo and behold, months ago when football was king and certain folks in charge at the time took all the credit for football coming back and then ran from responsibility when all the shutdowns started popping up.
Yeah.
Man, this is real.
It is.
It's real.
It is. Stay right there, Chris. Let me take my final break before we got to get ready to go. This segment brought to you by Lily and the Tax Doctor. We'll be right back with Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they are able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
This is Jasmine Highsmith, the
you're having a side of sports with your lunch here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Jasmine Highsmith, the daughter of famed Houston Oiler Alonzo Highsmith, that played at the U. She's about to get married, man. I still ain't got my invite to the destination wedding. I told her I was going to show up wherever it is unannounced and just walk down center aisle. I'm like, Jasmine! If you are a CDL licensed driver with a good driving record and a TWIC card, and you want to drive for a reputable company, call this number, 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. If you are a CDL licensed driver with a good driving record and a TWIC card, they want you and you should want them too. 832-767-3211. Kris. Oh, Kris.
Yes, sir.
Bro. In football, the SEC was doing victory laps because they were able to start on time. Well, when they decided to start, and they were able to play their season, and Alabama won the mythical national championship and all of that. And we have had some of the most record-breaking numbers, which that's not a good thing, of COVID-19, to the point where folks are trying to say, well, basketball ain't as organized and as tough as football. How crazy is that? Why is this a tough thing? I mean, what does this prove, trying to go out there and play in the midst of a worsening global pandemic?
Folks just want to hate on basketball, period. And basketball is played indoors, AJ, indoors. Football's played outdoors. That does make a difference. That's a huge difference.
Right.
And the folks who don't want
several SEC and ACC games had to be postponed and even canceled because of COVID-19. It's like that revisionist history is amazing. It'll get you every time.
It is, and that's what it is, revisionist history. Man, every day for the last week, I've got emails from the American Athletic Conference about changing to the men's basketball schedule. Every day, postponements, games being rescheduled because of postponements. Every day that has happened. And I mean, like I said, folks who choose to ignore it, that's a choice they are making intentionally to ignore reality. And I'm done with that mentality.
Yeah.
So I'm going to deal with the real world, because clearly too many of us are choosing to live in a fantasy world or an alternative world, alternative reality, and that ain't me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, 100%. Let's go back to your Rockets. Christian Wood, when can we expect to see him back?
Well, based on what he said yesterday, he's going to play today.
Okay.
He's probable on the status report as of an hour ago. Coach Silas said that he'll play unless he has a setback today in practice, which I don't believe he did. So C. Wood should be back in the lineup against the Blazers.
So maybe that's what I was thinking. The first time they will have Victor, John, and Wood in the starting lineup.
That could be.
They did have Victor and John the other night against Washington.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it'll be good to see, man. Again, I'm with or without him, I'm excited about this Rocket team in totality. I'm like you. I want all the guys and the young ladies to stay safe.
And reminder for the family, tonight's game starts at 6:30.
Okay.
On TNT, 6:30 tip-off. Initially, it was 8:30, but they changed it up to, I think the Warriors game now moved to take their place, and the Rockets game is now at 6:30 on TNT. Rockets Blazers on TNT, 6:30 p.m. And national, Thursday nights, TNT got the game, so no local broadcast.
All right, well, there you go. You got me updating my notes, so for the rest of my updates, I'll be doing it right. Rockets hosting Portland tonight at 6:30, and again, we should see John Wall, Victor Oladipo, and Christian Woods first time together, healthy, and we'll see how that goes tonight. Who you got tonight in this one?
Rockets.
Okay.
Rockets, and like I said, Rockets plays at 6:30, 8 o'clock. Get that split screen, whatever you got, picture in picture. ESPN, U of H men, your Tulane Green Wave.
I'm going with the U of H Cougars and that one tonight. Who you got?
U of H.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, good luck to Tulane.
It's early for your Super Bowl pick. You want to give it to me next week, or you want to give it to me today?
I'll wait.
Okay. All right, man. Chris,
But if you know me,
huh?
if you know me, you know who I'm picking.
Yeah, I think I know. Yeah. I think I know. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, my brother.
HoustonRoundballReview.com, www.HoustonRoundballReview.com. Me on Twitter, THEHR Review, the HR Review, YouTube and Instagram, Houston Roundball Review. Fam, remember it, Houston Roundball Review, local name, national perspective.
Bro, you are a fan favorite down there at Legacy Community Health Services too. They love them some Kris Gardner. They love them.
Much love to them. Take care of my mom. Much love to them. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir. Kris, we'll talk to you again next week, man. If not before, keep your phone on tonight because I'm going to be hitting you up.
I look forward to it, brother.
All right. Thanks, Kris. Appreciate you. Kris Gardner, y'all, Houston Roundball Review. You already know what it is. You already know how he does. And you already know that he's family. So y'all take care of him. Be sure and follow him on his various social media websites. Hit him up on YouTube as well. Get that YouTube number up. And if you ever got an extra donation or two, drop it his way so that he can keep doing what it is he does independently of the big networks and the major newspapers and what have you. We need more of the Kris Gardners out there doing their own thing. Listen, a local team, a local sports show with a national perspective. I love that. I love that he covers U of H. I love that he covers Rice. I love that he covers the men and women over at TSU and Prairie View. I love that. So y'all keep Kris Gardner covered in your prayers. All right. Let me see what else we got. Let me just give you a quick sports update. The Texans have their man. It is not Eric Bieniemy. It is 65-year-old David Culley, former assistant head coach with the Baltimore Ravens. And he is the oldest first-time head coach in the league and one of the older coaches in the league. That's not the deal, though. Been in the league for over 25 years, finally getting a shot. Happy for him. Deshaun Watson's people have officially released the knowledge that a formal trade request was given to the Houston Texans organization over a week ago. Nothing has changed. They have not rescinded it. Deshaun wants to be traded. The Texans still own or control, control the rights to Deshaun. So if they decide not to trade him, then he will be a member of the Houston Texans. In fact, if you look at the terms of his contract and the number of times that they can franchise tag him, the Texans can try and hold on to the contract of Deshaun through 2028. Let's hope that they don't do that. Let's hope that they do the right thing for that young man. Of course, Super Bowl 55, Kansas City and Tampa Bay. In Tampa will be February the 7th, 5:30 on CBS. The Spurs beat Boston last night, 110-106, as every starter scored in double figures. They were led by DeMar DeRozan with 21 in the win. They're going to host Denver tomorrow night at 7:30. New Orleans beat Washington 124-106. You got 32 from Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. And again, Zion did not have a three in that. Utah beat the Mavs 116-104. Luka had 30 in the loss. Tonight you got the Rockets in Portland. It'll be at 6:30. 6:30. And again, that game will be nationally televised on TNT. It'll be the first game with John Wall, Victor Oladipo, and Christian Wood if he's able to get back in that starting lineup. Houston Baptist beat Incarnate Word 73-57. It was Abilene Christian beating Stephen F. Austin 82-62. And number 2, Baylor remained undefeated by beating Kansas State 107-59. All right, y'all, let me get ready to go. A lot going on out there in the world of sports. A lot going on. Got some special guests that will be joining me tomorrow. We'll talk about a number of things that have kind of headlined in the world of sports. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, especially with one of the guests that will be coming on tomorrow. So y'all be sure and tune in. There is Queen Leah Brown. Glad I caught you. Great show. Thank you, Leah. Glad you came through, Queen. Theodora Fambro from up in my hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio. What's up, Queen? Good to see you as well. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I do love you. There's nothing you can do about it except wear your mask, wash your hands 30 seconds or more, sanitize everything around you, be sensitive to everybody around you. Get them folks 6 feet. Whether you believe in the virus or not, get them folks 6 feet. Stop breathing on the back of my neck. And then when you see the racism, I mean it, and there is a bunch of it out there. Kill it, not the person, the racism. I'm telling you, we can do a whole lot more without it. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Freestyle Friday. Y'all just take care. Take care and be blessed. Here's Sybil Wilkes.
Wilkes, what you need to know today. The Biden is making
All right, let me start this over. Hold on.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. The Biden administration is making moves to foster inclusion and diversity. It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. Now that the article of impeachment in the case against Donald Trump has been transferred to the Senate, both sides are preparing their cases. The question before the Senate will be, is Donald Trump innocent or guilty of inciting violence January 6th? Meanwhile, there are reports law enforcement officials are investigating more threats of violence. The threats are said to be made against current legislators to take place during the upcoming impeachment trial. According to a new study, people with diabetes who take the medication metformin are at significantly less risk of death due to COVID-19 compared with those who do not. The study showed that those who tested positive for COVID-19 and were taking metformin had an 11% risk of dying versus a 24% risk. Researchers are not certain why metformin had those effects on the virus, but they believe the medicine's anti-inflammatory and anti-thrombotic effects may be a factor. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Always appreciate having y'all. Great comments, great calls. Appreciate Keisha Kelly, Kris Gardner, Ferdinand, Todd. Y'all pray for Keith Hennick. I know he probably had to work today, missing him. Y'all keep El Michelle in your prayers as well. And pray for the Gooden family. Got a homegoing service for Sister Dolores Gooden tomorrow. So I won't be here, but y'all be sure and tune in for that, okay? As always, y'all, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I really do love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Y'all be blessed, okay? All right.